My beloved child, listen closely. This is not a random moment, and this is not a message meant for the crowd. What is unfolding right now hath been written with your name on it. On February 15th, a spiritual warning was sealed concerning your family, and tonight heaven has opened so you could hear what others were never meant to hear. I am speaking with urgency because time is shifting. 3 angels have been standing watch over your household, observing patterns, conversations, and silent struggles no one else sees. They have been sent not to frighten you, but to awaken you. One of them carries truth, one carries protection, and one carries instruction. And standing above them is Archangel Michael, appointed as your defender in this very season. You may have felt a strange heaviness recently, as if something unseen was pressing against your peace. That was not imagination. That was a warning signal. Certain cycles within your family have been repeating, quietly passing from generation to generation. Heaven has decided that the cycle ends with you. This message is only for you because you are the one who can hear it without rejecting it. The first angel speaks of what has been hidden. Not hidden from God, but hidden from each other. Unspoken tensions, unresolved decisions, and truths avoided for the sake of keeping peace have created spiritual cracks. These cracks do not mean failure, but they do require attention. Ignoring them any longer would allow confusion to grow where clarity is meant to reign. The second angel speaks of timing. February 15th was not chosen by chance. It marks a turning point, a line drawn between what was tolerated and what will no longer be allowed. From this date forward, the spiritual rules around your family are changing. What once lingered quietly will now surface quickly. What once took years to reveal will now be exposed in moments. Do not panic when things begin to move faster. Speed does not mean loss. Speed means intervention. Archangel Michael stands as the enforcer of this shift. His presence signals that protection has already been activated. Even if uncomfortable conversations arise, even if certain behaviors are challenged, no harm is permitted to cross the boundary God has placed around your family. You are not under attack. You are under alignment. The third angel speaks directly to you, not to your parents, not to your siblings, not to those who came before you. To you. You were chosen because you are willing to see what others denied. You feel deeply, you question patterns, and you sense when something is off even if you cannot explain it. That sensitivity is not weakness. It is discernment. Right now, heaven is asking you to stop carrying responsibility that was never yours. Some burdens you picked up out of love, some out of fear, and some because no one else would. But this warning is also a release. You are not meant to fix everyone. You are meant to stand in truth so truth can do the fixing. Pay attention in the coming days to sudden realizations. A comment that finally makes sense. A memory that resurfaces with clarity. A situation that no longer feels confusing but obvious. These are signs the warning is unfolding gently rather than forcefully, because you listened early. There may be one woman connected to your family energy who plays a key role in what is about to be revealed. This does not mean betrayal or destruction. It means clarity. When truth comes into the light, it does not come to shame, but to heal what secrecy has strained. Do not confront out of emotion. Observe with wisdom. Archangel Michael is guiding your words even before you speak them. Silence, when guided, can be just as powerful as action. This message found you because you are spiritually alert, even on days you feel tired, even when you doubt yourself, even when you wonder why you care so much. Heaven sees that care as commitment. What happens next will not look dramatic at first. It will look like small shifts, different reactions, new boundaries, a sudden sense of calm where anxiety once lived. These are confirmations, not coincidences. You are safe. Your family is being guarded. And this warning is not about loss, but about correction before something precious is harmed. Stay open. Stay grounded. And trust that what is being revealed with love. Beloved soul, lean in and listen with your spirit, because what unfolds now is meant to steady your heart. After the warning was written, heaven did not step back, it stepped closer. The atmosphere around your family has begun to shift, and you may already sense it in subtle ways. A calm that feels unfamiliar, a tension that no longer has power over you. This is the beginning of divine order being restored. Archangel Michael is not distant in this hour. He is positioned at the threshold of your household, not with noise or fear, but with authority and peace. When heaven assigns him, it means boundaries are being enforced. Things that once crossed lines unnoticed will now be stopped without struggle. You are not meant to fight this battle with raised voices or emotional exhaustion. You are meant to stand still and witness protection in motion. There is a reason your awareness has sharpened recently. You are noticing patterns more clearly, sensing motives more accurately, and feeling less confused by mixed signals. This clarity is intentional. God is removing the fog so you can see without suspicion and respond without fear. What you see now is not to make you anxious, but to make you free. Some in your family may resist this shift because comfort was built on avoidance. When truth approaches, it often unsettles what relied on silence. Do not interpret resistance as failure. Resistance is proof that something real is happening. When light enters a room, dust becomes visible. That visibility is not the problem. The light is the solution. You may wonder why you feel both peace and urgency at the same time. Peace comes from protection. Urgency comes from timing. February 15th marked the moment heaven decided not to delay any longer. Certain outcomes were prevented because you were willing to listen. That alone has altered the direction of your family story. Archangel Michael is also guarding your words. If you have felt guided to speak less and observe more, that is wisdom. Silence right now is strategic, not passive. You are being taught when to wait and when to move, so that nothing you say is wasted and nothing you withhold is harmful. Let your prayers become simple. You do not need perfect language. Say what you feel. Ask for clarity. Ask for peace. Ask for protection. Heaven responds to sincerity faster than eloquence. The angels assigned to your family are listening for your voice, not because they need permission, but because partnership multiplies power. If this message is resonating, do not keep it to yourself. Like this video so the message is marked, share it with someone who may need reassurance, and comment to anchor this word in your life. When you subscribe and support this channel, you are helping these warnings and protections reach others who are still searching for answers. Join the membership if you feel led, because staying connected keeps you aligned with what heaven is releasing in this season. There is also a renewal happening within you personally. Old guilt is losing its grip. Old fears are loosening. You are beginning to understand that you were never meant to carry everyone else's emotional weight. Love does not require self-erasure. God never asked you to disappear so others could remain comfortable. Watch for small confirmations over the next few days. A conversation that resolves more easily than expected. A situation that dissolves without confrontation. A sense of relief where tension once lived. These are signs that protection is active and the warning is doing its work quietly and effectively. Do not rush outcomes. Divine timing is already ahead of schedule. What matters now is that you remain grounded, Be well. Rest when you need to. Stay spiritually alert without becoming hyper-aware. Trust that Archangel Michael is handling what you cannot see, and the other angels are managing what you cannot control. Hold on, because what unfolds next will bring even deeper understanding, and you will be grateful you stayed present for it. Chosen one, receive this with a steady heart, because now the message goes deeper than awareness. What began as a warning is now becoming a separation between what was allowed and what is permitted no longer. Heaven is not exposing your family to shame anyone. Heaven is positioning your family for protection that lasts beyond this season. Archangel Michael has not only been guarding the entrance, he hath been inspecting the foundation. Some spiritual structures were built during times of fear, survival, or silence. They worked then, but they cannot hold what God is about to release now. This is why certain beliefs, habits, and emotional reactions feel uncomfortable lately. You are outgrowing what once kept you safe. There is a specific weight being lifted from your spirit in stages. First came awareness, then came peace. Now comes authority. You are beginning to realize that you do not need permission to stand in truth. You do not need agreement to obey God. And you do not need to explain discernment to those who are not ready to hear it. The angels assigned to your family are adjusting roles. One who once shielded is now redirecting. One who once warned is now confirming. And Archangel Michael remains constant, ensuring nothing interferes with this transition. When heaven rearranges assignments, it is because a higher level of trust has been established. There may be moments when you feel emotional for no clear reason. This is not weakness. This is release. Old prayers are being answered quietly. Tears are becoming doorways, not setbacks. Let them come and go without judgment. Healing does not always announce itself loudly. Be mindful of sudden clarity around past events. What once confused you may now appear obvious. This is not to reopen wounds, but to close them properly. Understanding brings closure, and closure brings peace. God is restoring order not only around you, but within you. You are also being taught restraint. Not every truth needs immediate expression. Some truths are seeds meant to be planted at the right moment. Archangel Michael is helping you discern timing, so that your words protect rather than provoke. Wisdom is knowing when silence speaks louder than explanation. This season is refining your boundaries. You will feel less guilty for saying no, less obligated to fix, less responsible for outcomes you never controlled. This is alignment. When God strengthens boundaries, it is not to isolate you, but to preserve what matters. Pay attention to how quickly peace returns after moments that once drained you. That is evidence of divine covering. The warning did its job early, so correction could happen gently. This is mercy in motion. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where heaven intended you to be when this message reached you. Type "I receive the warning" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Lesson code 1447 has just been released. And now hear this carefully. What you are receiving is not meant to stop with you. I am speaking to those who feel the fire of obedience stirring right now. This message goes forward because someone chooses to sow. The word spreads because light is carried from one heart to another. As Scripture declares, the Lord says He gives seed to the sower and bread for the eater, and tonight He is speaking directly to you. I am inviting you into this moment, not as a donation, but as a prophetic response. When you support this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, linked in the description, you are placing oil in the lamp so the light does not go out. Your obedience opens doors for souls who are still waiting for a warning that will save them. I speak blessing over every giver now. May your house be covered, your seed multiplied, and your obedience rewarded openly. Do it now, so while the heavens are open. Beloved one, as this message continues, understand that heaven is now strengthening what was already stirred within you. What you sensed before as a quiet inner knowing is becoming settled confidence. This is the stage where fear loses its voice and faith becomes steady. The warning did not arrive to keep you alert forever, but to guide you into calm authority. Archangel Michael is now shifting from defense into reinforcement. This means that what has been protected is now being fortified. Think of it as walls being rebuilt thicker, higher, and wiser than before. The enemy does not retreat because of noise. He retreats because access has been removed. That is what is happening around your family. You may notice that certain emotional triggers no longer affect you the same way. Conversations that once drained you now end more quickly. Situations that once caused anxiety now feel distant. This is not because you stopped caring. It is because you stopped carrying what was never assigned to you. Emotional maturity is a form of spiritual warfare, and you are stepping into it naturally. Heaven is also restoring your discernment without suspicion. You are learning to see clearly without becoming guarded or cold. This balance is rare, and it is cultivated only through trust in God's protection. Archangel Michael ensures that discernment does not turn into isolation. You are still open-hearted, but now you are also well-guarded. There is a subtle rewiring happening in how you respond to stress. Instead of immediately reacting, you pause. That pause is sacred. In that space, angels move. Decisions made from stillness carry more power than decisions made from urgency. Do not underestimate the strength of calm obedience. Some family dynamics may begin to rearrange themselves without direct confrontation. Roles will shift. Expectations will adjust. This is because spiritual alignment influences natural order. Where one person stands in truth, the entire system must respond. You are not forcing change. You are allowing truth to breathe. You may also feel prompted to return to simple spiritual habits. Quiet prayer, reflection, gratitude. These are not small acts. They are stabilizers. Heaven often uses simplicity to sustain big transitions. Do not overlook the power of consistency in small things. Archangel Michael is attentive to your thoughts as much as your actions. Doubts may still try to surface, but they no longer settle. They pass through and leave. This is progress. Growth does not mean absence of doubt. It means doubt no longer leads. Faith has taken the lead now. There is also protection over your rest. Sleep will become deeper. Dreams may become clearer or calmer. This is not accidental. Restoration often begins when the body finally feels safe. Your nervous system is catching up with your spiritual reality. You are safe. You are covered. You are watched over. Do not rush to explain your growth to others. Let the fruits speak. Let peace be your testimony. Let consistency answer questions no words could satisfy. Archangel Michael is guarding your reputation as much as your heart. What is misunderstood now will be understood later. If moments of loneliness arise, do not assume something is wrong. Separation often precedes elevation. God sometimes creates quiet so he can speak without interruption. You are not being removed from people. You are being drawn closer to purpose. Notice how your intuition is becoming gentler but firmer. You no longer feel the need to prove what you sense. You simply know. This is spiritual maturity. This is trust developed through experience, not theory. As this phase continues, remember that obedience does not require perfection. It requires availability. You showed up. You listened. You stayed open. That alone shifted outcomes that could have gone very differently. Heaven takes note of that kind of response. What is being built now will support you long term. This is not a temporary covering. This is a lasting one. Your family's future is being stabilized because someone chose awareness over avoidance. That someone is you. Remain steady. Remain humble. Remain attentive. The foundation is set, and what comes next will rise securely upon it. My dear one, what unfolds now is quieter on the surface but deeper in the spirit. This is the phase where heaven begins to teach you how to live from protection, not just visit it. Earlier you were warned. Then you were steadied. Now you are being trained to remain anchored, regardless of circumstances. This is where many miss the lesson, but you are being guided carefully through it. Archangel Michael is still present, but his work now looks different. Instead of standing visibly at the front, he is reinforcing behind the scenes. This is the stage where strength becomes internal rather than external. You may not feel dramatic shifts anymore, and that is intentional. Stability does not announce itself. It's settled. You are learning that peace is not the absence of problems, but the absence of fear within them. Situations may still arise within your family that require wisdom, but they will no longer shake your core. You are responding instead of reacting. You are listening instead of assuming. This inner posture is what keeps spiritual doors sealed against chaos. There is a refinement happening in how you trust. Earlier, trust felt risky because you were unsure if protection would hold. Now, trust feels natural because you have seen evidence. God has proven himself quietly, consistently, and personally. This kind of trust cannot be taught. It is earned through experience. Be aware that old patterns may attempt to resurface briefly, not because they have power, but because they are unfamiliar with being denied access. When something loses permission, it often tests boundaries one last time. Do not interpret this as regression. It is confirmation that the boundary is working. You may feel less need to explain yourself to family members who once questioned your choices. Silence will feel more comfortable than justification. This is growth. When identity is secure, explanation becomes optional. Archangel Michael guards not only what you say, but what you choose not to say. Your emotional energy is being preserved now. You will notice that you recover faster from stress. You no longer replay conversations endlessly. You no longer feel responsible for fixing every misunderstanding. This emotional conservation is strategic. God is teaching you stewardship over your inner world. There is also an invitation to forgive at a deeper level. Not forced forgiveness, but understanding-based forgiveness. As clarity has increased, compassion has followed. You can see how fear shaped others' choices without excusing the impact. This balance is healing. It frees you without reopening wounds. You are also being prepared for increased responsibility, not necessarily within your family, but within your purpose. When God stabilizes your foundation, it is often because something greater will rest upon it. This is not pressure. It is preparation. Nothing will be placed on you that you are not equipped to carry. Notice how your prayers are changing. They are becoming simpler, more direct, less emotional, and more trusting. This is intimacy. God does not require performance. He responds to honesty. You are learning to speak to him as someone who knows he is listening. Rest remains important in this phase. Do not confuse peace with inactivity. Rest is part of obedience right now. When the body is rested, discernment stays sharp. When the mind is calm, wisdom flows easily. You are allowed to pause without guilt. There may be moments when you reflect on how far you have come and feel a quiet sense of gratitude. Let that gratitude ground you. It is a reminder that protection has been active even when you were unaware. Many outcomes were redirected without your involvement. You are no longer standing at the edge of change. You are living within it. This new normal may feel unfamiliar, but it is healthy. Stability can feel strange when chaos was once common. Give yourself permission to adjust without suspicion. As this part of the journey settles in, remember that consistency matters more than intensity. You do not need dramatic faith. You need steady faith. Show up daily. Stay aware. Remain open. That is enough. What is being built within you now cannot be easily shaken. You are not just protected in moments of crisis. You are protected in ordinary days. And that is where lasting peace is formed. Stay grounded in this truth. The foundation holds. The covering remains. And you are exactly where you need to be. Beloved child, as this message moves forward, understand that you have entered a season of discernment with endurance. This is not about quick victories anymore. This is about sustained peace. Heaven is teaching you how to remain aligned even when life becomes ordinary again. Many people only seek God in moments of urgency, but you are learning to walk with Him in consistency, and that is where real strength is formed. Archangel Michael continues to oversee this phase, not as a sudden rescuer, but as a commander ensuring order is maintained. When chaos no longer dominates, order must be guarded. This is why you may feel a stronger inner nudge to protect your time, your energy, and your focus. Distractions that once seemed harmless now feel heavy. This is not restriction. This is refinement. Your family environment is responding to your inner stability. Even if others are unaware of it, your grounded presence is influencing conversations, decisions, and emotional tone. Spiritual authority does not always speak loudly. Sometimes it simply shifts the room by being present. You are becoming that stabilizing force without effort. You may notice that you are less drawn into drama, less reactive to emotional swings, and less invested in proving your point. This does not mean you have become indifferent. It means you have become secure. When identity is settled, external validation loses its grip. Archangel Michael is pleased with this maturity because it makes protection sustainable. There is also a strengthening of your spiritual intuition happening now. You are sensing what to engage with and what to step away from more clearly. This discernment is not judgmental. It is protective. God is showing you that not everything deserves your attention, even if it demands it loudly. Do not be surprised if some people begin to seek your advice more often. Peace attracts questions. Stability invites trust. Be careful not to overextend yourself. You are not meant to become everyone's anchor. Share wisdom when prompted, but remain rooted in your own boundaries. Heaven honors balance. This phase may feel less emotional than earlier ones, and that is intentional. Emotional intensity was necessary to awaken you. Now calm is necessary to sustain you. Growth often feels quieter than breakthrough. Do not mistake calm for stagnation. Your prayers are now shaping outcomes before situations fully form. This is the fruit of alignment. When your inner world is ordered, your prayers carry clarity. You are no longer praying from fear, but from trust. That changes everything. As you continue watching this message unfold, take a moment to support what is speaking to you. Like this video so this word is marked. share it with someone who may need stability right now, and leave a comment to declare that you are receiving this season of peace. Subscribe to the channel and join the membership if you feel led, because staying connected keeps you aligned with what heaven is releasing consistently. There is also a reminder here to remain teachable. Confidence does not replace humility. In fact, true confidence is rooted in humility. You are strong because you remain open. You are protected because you stay aware. Never assume you have arrived. Always remain willing to listen. Archangel Michael is now ensuring that what has been corrected does not slip back into old form. This is maintenance, not warfare. Maintenance requires awareness, not anxiety. You do not need to watch for danger obsessively. You only need to remain present. Pay attention to how your body responds to this new rhythm. You may feel more relaxed, more rested, more steady. This is your nervous system aligning with your spiritual reality. Safety is becoming your default, not your exception. There may still be moments of doubt, but they will no longer linger. Doubt will knock, but it will not stay. Faith now answers more quickly than fear. This is progress you should honor. Before you move on from this moment, stay with me just a little longer, because what comes next connects everything you have sensed into something even clearer. Beloved one, as this message deepens, heaven is now revealing the meaning behind the stability you are experiencing. Peace was not given to pause your journey. It was given to prepare you for clarity. When the noise settles, truth becomes easier to recognize. You are now in a phase where understanding is being layered gently, so it does not overwhelm you. Archangel Michael remains attentive, but his role here is subtle. He is ensuring that discernment does not turn into overthinking. Many lose peace not because danger returns, but because they begin to analyze what no longer requires analysis. You are being taught to trust what has already been settled. If something is no longer stirring your spirit, it is because it no longer has permission. There is an internal alignment happening between your mind and your spirit. Before, they may have felt slightly out of sync, with thoughts racing while your spirit remained calm, or emotions reacting while your intuition warned you. Now they are learning to move together. This alignment creates confidence without force and awareness without fear. You may notice that your perspective on your family has shifted. You see them more clearly, but also more compassionately. Understanding has replaced resentment. Boundaries have replaced guilt. This does not mean everything is perfect. It means you are no longer confused about your role. You are present, not entangled. Heaven is also teaching you how to let others take responsibility for their own growth. This can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you were used to intervening or smoothing things over. But stepping back is not abandonment. It is respect. Respect for their journey and for your own limits. Archangel Michael is guarding you from false responsibility. You are not accountable for outcomes you did not initiate. You are not obligated to carry emotional weight that was never assigned to you. This release is part of your protection. Carrying too much dulls discernment. Lightness restores clarity. You may sense a new level of confidence emerging quietly. It is not loud. It does not seek validation. It simply knows where it stands. This confidence is rooted in experience, not theory. You have seen what happens when you listen. You have seen peace replace pressure. That evidence cannot be taken from you. There may be moments when you feel slightly detached from old concerns. This detachment is not coldness. It is healing distance. God sometimes creates space so that love can become healthy again. Proximity without pressure allows relationships to breathe. Notice how your reactions have changed. You respond slower, but wiser. You speak less but more intentionally. You listen more, but absorb less negativity. These are signs of maturity. You are no longer absorbing everything around you. You are filtering it. Heaven is also strengthening your trust in timing. You are learning that not everything needs immediate resolution. Some things unfold naturally when you stop interfering. Patience is becoming easier because anxiety has less influence. This is growth that cannot be rushed. Archangel Michael ensures that impatience does not masquerade as urgency. True urgency feels calm and focused. False urgency feels frantic and heavy. You are becoming skilled at telling the difference. This skill will serve you well beyond this season. Your inner dialogue is changing too. Where there was once self-questioning, there is now self-assurance. Where there was once doubt, there is now curiosity. You are no longer asking, what if something goes wrong? You are asking, what is God showing me here? That shift changes everything. There may be a renewed sense of purpose stirring quietly. Not a dramatic calling, but a gentle pull toward meaning. This purpose is not separate from your peace. It grows from it. God does not build destiny on chaos. You builds it on stability. Allow yourself to enjoy this phase without waiting for the next challenge. Peace is not a pause between storms. It is a state you are meant to live in. When challenges come, they will meet you grounded, not shaken. As this part settles, remember that clarity does not always come with answers. Sometimes clarity comes with acceptance. You do not need to understand everything to trust what has already been proven. Protection is active. Alignment is ongoing. And you are moving forward, even when it feels quiet. Stay present in this stillness. It is not empty. It is full of direction. Beloved child, this is the moment where heaven asks you to recognize how far you have come without minimizing it. What you are standing in now was once something you prayed for quietly, perhaps without even realizing it. Stability, clarity, peace that does not disappear when circumstances shift. This did not arrive by accident. It arrived through obedience, listening, and restraint. Archangel Michael is still present, but now his presence feels less like protection from danger and more like confirmation of authority. This is the stage where you are no longer being guarded because you are fragile, but because you are trusted. Heaven does not withdraw protection when you grow stronger. It strengthens it so you can carry more without losing balance. You may notice that people around you are responding differently to you. Some feel calmer in your presence. Others may feel slightly uncomfortable without knowing why. This is not because you changed personalities. It is because truth creates contrast. When you stop participating in old patterns, those patterns become more visible to others. This phase is about integration. Everything you have learned is settling into daily life. You are not trying to be spiritually alert anymore. You simply are. Discernment has become natural. Peace has become familiar. You no longer scan for threats because you trust your covering. There is also a deeper level of honesty forming within you. You are no longer negotiating with yourself about what feels wrong. When something does not align, you acknowledge it without panic. When something feels right, you move without overthinking. This clarity is a gift that must be protected through simplicity. Archangel Michael is helping you release the need to control outcomes. Control was once a survival tool. Now it is unnecessary. Trust has replaced it. When you stop forcing resolution, God moves more freely. This surrender is not weakness. It is confidence in divine order. You may also sense gratitude rising unexpectedly. Not dramatic gratitude, but quiet appreciation. Appreciation for rest. for clarity, for safety. Gratitude is evidence that your nervous system recognizes stability. This is healing that goes deeper than emotion. Be mindful not to rush this phase. Many people leave peace too quickly because it feels unfamiliar. Let it settle. Let it become your new normal. You are not waiting for something to happen. Something has already happened. You are living in the result of answered prayer. There is also a strengthening of spiritual authority in your voice. When you speak now, your words carry weight, even when they are few. This is because you speak from alignment, not urgency. Archangel Michael ensures that your words are guarded, so they land where they are meant to. If this message has been confirming what you already sensed, stay engaged with it. Like this video, share it with someone who may be standing at the edge of clarity, and leave a comment to declare what you are receiving. Subscribe to the channel and stay connected, because this is not a one-time word. This is an unfolding. Now receive this activation carefully. Type "I walk in divine order" in the comments if this message has aligned your spirit. Blessing code 2089 is now released over your household. And hear this as the Spirit speaks directly to you. This word continues to reach lives because someone chooses to respond when heaven stirs their heart. The Lord says that when seed is sown into fertile ground, it does not return empty. I am calling you into this moment, not as a supporter of a channel, but as a carrier of light. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, linked in the description, you are opening a river so this message can reach families still standing in confusion. Your act becomes obedience, not generosity alone. I speak blessing over your seed now. May your house remain covered, your peace multiplied, and your obedience honored openly. Act now. Release it while the heavens are attentive. Beloved one, as this message continues, heaven is now inviting you into stewardship of what you have received. Protection, clarity, and peace are not only gifts to enjoy, they are responsibilities to guard. This is the stage where stability must be maintained intentionally, not anxiously, but faithfully. What God establishes, He also teaches you how to keep. Archangel Michael remains attentive, but his focus now is on preservation. Preservation is quieter than breakthrough, yet it is just as powerful. It is easier to win a battle than it is to maintain order after the victory. You are learning how to live in victory without becoming careless. This awareness is a mark of maturity. You may notice that temptations to return to old reactions appear subtly. Not dramatic chaos, but small invitations to worry, to overthink, to assume responsibility for things that are not yours. These are not attacks. They are tests of habit. Heaven is allowing you to choose your new posture consciously. There is a strengthening happening in your decision-making. You are no longer driven by urgency or guilt. You are choosing based on alignment. When something does not sit right, you do not force it. When something feels clear, you move without second-guessing. This decisiveness is not harsh. It is peaceful. Your family environment continues to respond to your steadiness. Even if nothing is spoken aloud, energy shifts are taking place. Calm influences more than argument ever could. You are witnessing how inner order affects outer dynamics without confrontation. This is wisdom in motion. Archangel Michael is also guarding you from spiritual fatigue. Fatigue does not always come from doing too much. Sometimes it comes from carrying what should have been released. You are being reminded to check in with yourself regularly. Rest is not optional. It is part of obedience now. There is also an invitation to joy in this phase. Not loud celebration, but genuine enjoyment of simple moments. Peace should be enjoyed, not merely protected. Allow yourself to laugh, to relax, to be present without scanning for problems. Heaven is not asking you to stay alert in fear. Heaven is asking you to stay aware and trust. You may feel a renewed appreciation for boundaries. Boundaries are no longer walls you hide behind. They are filters that protect what is valuable. You are seeing how saying no to one thing allows you to say yes to what matters. This clarity brings freedom. Your spiritual sensitivity remains intact, but it is no longer overwhelming. You are sensing without absorbing, observing without internalizing. This balance allows you to remain compassionate without becoming burdened. Archangel Michael ensures that empathy does not turn into emotional entanglement. There may be moments when you reflect on earlier seasons and realize how heavy they were. Do not judge your past self. That version of you did the best it could with the awareness it had. Honor the journey. Growth does not erase the past, it redeems it. You are also learning how to trust silence. Not every moment requires prayerful effort. Sometimes trust is expressed by resting. Silence now feels safe because you know you are covered. That security is evidence of healing. This phase may feel less dramatic than earlier ones, but it is no less significant. Foundations are strengthened quietly. Roots grow underground. What is happening now will support future responsibilities that have not yet appeared. Archangel Michael is ensuring that you do not confuse peace with complacency. You remain alert, but not tense. Aware, but not anxious. This balance keeps you aligned without exhausting you. Pay attention to your inner language. You are speaking more kindly to yourself. You are less critical, less rushed. This internal shift affects everything else. When your inner environment is ordered, external challenges lose their intensity. You may also notice that your faith feels steadier, less emotional, more grounded. You trust without needing constant reassurance. This trust is not blind. It is informed by experience. You have seen what happens when you listen. As you move through this phase, remain consistent. Consistency preserves what intensity initiates. You do not need to strive. You only need to stay present. What God has established is not fragile. It is strong. This is not the end of the message. It is the preparation for what comes next. Stay with it. What is about to be revealed will connect everything you have learned into something even more purposeful. Beloved soul, you have arrived at a moment of recognition. Not recognition from others, but recognition within yourself. You are beginning to see that the stability you now live in did not come from chance, and it did not come from effort alone. It came from alignment. This is the stage where heaven teaches you how to remain aware without becoming watchful, how to stay faithful without becoming rigid. Archangel Michael is present as an overseer of continuity. His role here is to ensure that what hath been established is not slowly diluted by familiarity. Sometimes the greatest danger is not chaos, but forgetfulness. Forgetting how far you have come. Forgetting what it cost. Forgetting what listening accomplished. You are being reminded now so you do not drift. Your discernment has become second nature. You no longer analyze every feeling or question every instinct. You trust the inner stillness that guides you. This trust is not careless. It is informed. It is built on evidence. You listened when it mattered, and you saw the result. That memory now anchors you. There may be a subtle temptation to re-engage with old emotional roles, not because they are required, but because they feel familiar. Familiarity can disguise itself as responsibility. Be mindful. You are not meant to return to who you were in order to keep others comfortable. Growth changes dynamics, and that is allowed. Archangel Michael is guarding you from emotional regression. When situations arise that resemble the past, you will notice that your response is different. You do not tense the same way. You do not rush to fix. You pause, you breathe, and you choose. This pause is power. Your family dynamics may continue to adjust. Some will adapt easily. Others will take time. Do not interpret delayed adjustment as resistance. Everyone grows at a different pace. Your role is not to accelerate others. It is to remain aligned yourself. There is also a strengthening of your inner authority. You no longer need external confirmation to trust what you sense. You still value counsel, but you are no longer dependent on it. This balance keeps you grounded without isolating you. Heaven is also reminding you that peace must be nurtured. It is sustained through awareness, not effort. Pay attention to what drains you and what restores you. Choose accordingly. Stewardship of peace is an ongoing practice. If this message has been grounding you and helping you recognize your growth, take a moment to engage with it. Like this video so this word continues to reach those who need stability. Share it with someone who may be learning how to protect their peace. Leave a comment to mark what this season means to you. Subscribe to the channel and stay connected, because consistency matters when truth is unfolding over time. There is a quiet confidence forming in how you move through life now. You are less hurried, less reactive, more intentional. This confidence is not arrogance. It is security. Security rooted in knowing you are not walking alone. Archangel Michael is also ensuring that you do not confuse patience with passivity. You are patient, but you are not disengaged. You are aware, but you are not tense. This balance allows you to act when needed without being driven by fear. You may notice that your spiritual sensitivity has become more refined. You are no longer overwhelmed by what you sense. You understand it, interpret it, and release it appropriately. This refinement protects you from burnout. There is also a renewed sense of trust in God's timing. You are no longer measuring progress by urgency. You are measuring it by alignment. This shift changes how you view delays, conversations, and outcomes. Everything feels less personal and more purposeful. Your inner dialogue continues to mature. You speak to yourself with patience instead of pressure, with clarity instead of criticism. This internal environment supports everything else in your life. Peace inside creates order outside. As this part settles, stay attentive. Not anxious, not watchful, simply present. What comes next will not demand effort. It will require recognition, and that recognition will bring everything into focus in a way you did not expect. Hold on just a little longer. The message is reaching its completion, and what remains will seal what has already been established. Beloved child, what remains now is not instruction but confirmation. You have walked through awareness, correction, stabilization, and stewardship. This final stretch before completion is about sealing. Heaven seals what it establishes so that it cannot be undone by time, distraction, or doubt. You are in a sealing season. Archangel Michael's presence in this moment is firm and settled. Not alert, not defensive, not reactive. Settle. This tells you something important. There is no emergency. There is no hidden threat approaching. What was addressed has been addressed thoroughly. What was corrected has been corrected at the root. Now heaven secures it. You may feel a deep sense of enough rising within you. Enough clarity. Enough understanding. Enough peace to stop searching for explanations. This is not complacency. This is completion nearing. When God finishes a work, He does not leave you restless. He leaves you anchored. There is also a quiet authority settling into your spirit that does not seek expression. You are no longer compelled to explain your journey, defend your growth, or justify your boundaries. What is real does not need advertising. What is sealed does not need reinforcement. Your family line is responding at a deeper level than you can see. Even if behavior changes are subtle, spiritual alignment has already shifted. Patterns that once recycled unconsciously no longer have the same energy feeding them. This is how cycles end quietly, not through confrontation, but through disruption of access. You may notice that certain memories no longer carry emotional charge. They feel neutral, observational. This neutrality is not numbness. It is healing completion. When memory loses emotional weight, it means it no longer has authority over your present. Archangel Michael is also guarding you from reopening doors through nostalgia. Sometimes the mind revisits old seasons not because they were healthy, but because they were familiar. You are being kept from romanticizing what God already closed. Gratitude honors the past. Attachment reopens it. You are being guided toward gratitude, not attachment. Your intuition now functions without urgency. You sense, acknowledge, and move on. There is no pressure to act immediately. No fear of missing something. This is trust fully matured. You trust that if something requires action, clarity will come with it. There may be moments of stillness that feel almost too quiet. Do not rush to fill them. This stillness is evidence that nothing is demanding your energy right now. Stillness is not emptiness. It is rest after order. You are also learning that obedience does not always look active. Sometimes obedience looks like not interfering, not revisiting, not re-engaging, not overpraying something God has already resolved. Trust knows when to stop talking. Archangel Michael is ensuring that your discernment does not turn backward. You are not meant to reevaluate decisions that were made in clarity. Peace is your confirmation. If peace remained, the decision was right. Your emotional world is now more predictable, not because life is controlled, but because your inner responses are grounded. Predictability in emotions is a sign of stability. You no longer swing between extremes. You remain centered. There is also a deepening of spiritual confidence that does not feel spiritual at all. It feels practical, grounded, integrated into everyday life. This is the most sustainable form of faith. Faith that does not require constant reinforcement because it has become lived experience. You may sense that something is concluding but not ending. There is no loss here, only transition from process to permanence. What was temporary is dissolving. What was built remains. Archangel Michael stands as witness to this seal. Nothing from the past has legal access anymore. Nothing unresolved remains unaddressed. Nothing hidden retains power through secrecy. Light has done its work. Allow yourself to rest in this moment without expectation. You are not waiting for the next lesson. You are standing in the result of the last one. Remain still. Remain grounded. One final movement remains, and it will not require effort, only reception. My beloved child, receive this final word as a seal, not as a warning. What heaven began with urgency has now reached completion with peace. This is not an ending that closes a door, but a completion that locks it securely so nothing from the past can enter again. You are standing on settled ground. Archangel Michael is present one last time in this message, not to guard against danger, but to witness what hath been finished. His assignment here is confirmation. When he stands in stillness, it means nothing more needs to be corrected. Order has been restored. Authority has been returned. Alignment has been secured. You may feel a quiet confidence now that does not seek reassurance. This confidence does not need signs or constant affirmation. It simply knows. That knowing is the mark of spiritual maturity. You trusted when it mattered. You listened when it was easier to ignore. Because of that, outcomes shifted in ways you may never fully see. Your family line has been affected more deeply than you realize. What you chose in awareness altered patterns that would have repeated unconsciously. This is how legacy changes, not through force, but through discernment and obedience. You were positioned at the right moment, and you responded. Notice how your spirit feels lighter without feeling empty, lighter without feeling careless. This balance is intentional. God does not remove weight without replacing it with stability. You are not missing anything. You are complete. There is no more scanning. No more waiting for the other shoe to drop. No more questioning whether peace will last. This peace is not fragile. It is fortified. It hath been tested, refined, and sealed. What remains now is stewardship, not vigilance. Archangel Michael ensures that this seal cannot be broken by distraction, emotion, or external pressure. Nothing needs your reaction anymore. Nothing requires your defense. What is yours will remain without effort. You may sense a deep internal quiet after this message. Let it settle. This quiet is not uncertainty. It is resolution. When heaven finishes a work, it leaves silence behind, not confusion. Your intuition is now calibrated. You will recognize misalignment quickly, without fear. You will step away easily without guilt. This is not detachment. This is clarity living comfortably within you. There is also a sense of permission being released over you. Permission to live fully. Permission to enjoy peace without waiting for permission. Permission to stop revisiting lessons that have already been learned. You are not abandoning wisdom by moving forward. You are honoring it. This message was never meant to create dependence. It was meant to awaken discernment so you could walk freely. You no longer need constant confirmation. You have become your own witness. Type "I receive the seal" in the comments if this completion resonates with your spirit. Blessing code 3116 is now activated over you and your household. And now hear this final call as it flows naturally from this completion. This message reached you because someone obeyed when heaven stirred their heart. God says that when a work is sealed, it must be sustained so others can also be brought into safety. I am speaking directly to you now. If this word guarded your peace, clarified your path, or protected your family, then respond as an act of obedience. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, linked in the description, you are placing fuel on the altar so this light continues to reach homes that are still standing at the edge of warning. Your seed is not money alone. It is agreement with God's work. I release blessing over every giver now. May what is sealed over you remain unshaken. May your obedience return multiplied. And may your household stay covered. Act now. Obey now. Let your response become the final echo of this message.